Hello guys, a very good morning to all of you. So guys, this is the daily news analysis of 2 days, that is 22nd and 23rd of March. So guys, the first very news coming here is about Navroj, right? Now, why this was a news? Because the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, has extended greetings to the Navroj on the occasion of Navroj. It is an Iranian New Year, which is also called the Persian New Year, and it is celebrated by the Persian community, which is inhabited in the region of India, and it also marks the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere. Now, just remember, on the northern hemisphere, not the southern hemisphere, because if there is one season on northern hemisphere, then the opposite season comes in southern hemisphere, right? So just remember, these kind of thing is what is directly been given in your question paper, and you don't read these type of things, and you just commit mistakes there, right? So just try to give focus on these kind of factual things, right? So yeah, also guys, this Navroj is enlisted in our intangible culture heritage list. That's why I thought of discussing this also with you, right? Because this is damn huge important thing, right? And we often don't read these kind of thing. So let's see how many intangible cultural heritage lists are of humanity are there enlisted from India. See, there are 13 first of all. The first is Vedic chanting, right? Next is Ram Leela, right? Next is Kutiyattam, it is a Sanskrit theatre in Kerala. Next is Ramman, which is a religious festival and ritual theatre in Garhwal Himalayas of Uttarakhand. Next is Mudiyattu, right? It is also a ritual theatre and dance drama in Kerala. And next is Kalibala, folk dance and folk songs and dances in Rajasthan. Next is Chhau dance. Eighth number is Buddhist chanting of Ladakh. Next is Sankirtan, which is also a ritual singing, drumming and dancing of Manipur. Next is traditional brass and copper craft of utensils making among the whatsoever, I mean, which is being practiced basically in Punjab, right? Next is yoga, which has been included recently in 2016. Next is Navroj, of which we have today only we discussed it. And 13th number is about Kumbh Mela, right? Now, next news is about Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan. Now, why this was a news? Because the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has given the approval for the continuation of this Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, which was going to end in the April 2017, and that is the time period has been extended till March 2020 by 3 years, right? Now, what is it? It is a centrally sponsored scheme which has been launched in the year 2013, and that aims at providing strategic funding to eligible state higher education institution. Under it, the central funding pattern is 60:40. That is 60% is being given by central and 40% is being spent by state in the general category states. Like now, in this case of special category, the funding pattern is 90:10, and in case of union territories, the funding pattern is 100%, right? Because union territories is directly being carried out by the central government, right? Now, the funding to the states would be based on the basis of critical appraisal of the state higher educational plans. Means the kind of state higher educational plans are there. After seeing these kind of plans only, the funding will be done and to this Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, right? Also guys, the aim is to improve access, equity and quality in higher education through planned development of higher education at the state level, and also the objectives include creating of new academic institutions, that is kind of capacity building of institution only, right? Also guys, the major focus is given on the inclination towards research, right? So that student can get some relevant education in these higher institutes. Next news is about Ayushman Bharat, though it was been discussed in the, it was first discussed in this year budget, but earlier also it was in discussed, but this time the draft plan of this is released. So let's discuss a bit about Ayushman Bharat. It is a national health protection scheme, guys. Now it was again in news because Union Cabinet has approved the launch of this newly central sponsored scheme, Ayushman Bharat, that is National Health Protection Mission, right? Now, this new scheme is going to subsume the other existing schemes like Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana and Senior Citizen Health Insurance Scheme. Now, under Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, guys, the insurance was given for 30,000 rupees, right, to the household, and there was a criteria that maximum of 5 members from this household are only eligible, right? But this time this 30,000 benefit is being extended to rupees 5 lakh per family per year, with no cap on any family size. Earlier it was 5 members, now there are no such sort of sizes over the family thing, right? And also guys, the targeted beneficiaries of the proposed scheme will be more than 10 crore families which are belonging to poor and vulnerable population. Now since these are poor and vulnerable population, so they must be inhabiting mostly in the poor areas, right, that is in rural areas. So of course, yeah, if they are inhabiting the region of rural areas, then they won't be having, uh, like they won't be having a tertiary healthcare system in their region, right? So for getting the availability of tertiary healthcare system, they have to come to, the posh areas, that is शहरों में आना पड़ता है उन्हें, ठीक है. So that's why guys, these target beneficiaries, I mean these beneficiaries, that is poor and vulnerable people, will be very much benefited, just because of the reason that the out of pocket expenditure, that will be reduced for them, right? And the beneficiaries will be selected from socio-economic caste census data 2011 for this Ayushman Bharat. Now the aim of this Ayushman Bharat is, again I'm telling you, that see, there are many countries in the world who are giving universalization of healthcare system to their citizens, right? But India cannot afford that because we don't have that much money, right? So it is a kind of effort through which, though we cannot afford 100% thing, that is universalization of healthcare system, but still, we are assuring that through Ayushman Bharat, at least the poor and vulnerable section of our society will be saved, right? This will be a kind of cushion to them. All right. And also guys, the beneficiaries covered under the scheme will be allowed to take cashless benefits. Means cashless benefits is directly means that benefit is direct, amount is directly sent to their wallet, and state will be free to choose the modalities of implementation, right? As whether they will be implementing the scheme through insurance scheme or directly through appointing any trust or society. So that totally depends upon the state. And there is also a proposal for the setting up of Ayushman Bharat National Health Protection Mission Council, that will be an apex level, that will be chaired by Union Health and Family Welfare Minister. Next news about Northeastern Industrial Development Scheme 2017. The cabinet has, why this was a news, because cabinet has approved this scheme 2017 and financial outlay of 3,000 crore rupees up to March 2010. Now this scheme mainly aimed to promote the industrialization in Northeast region, right? Because Northeast region, that the development is very low. So if it will promote industrialization there, then of course it is speculated that in coming future the growth will be there, right? Also it will boost the employment and income generation of the local people inhabiting that region. Also guys, it is a central there is a central capital investment incentive for access of credit, under which 30% of the investment in the plant and machinery with the upper limit of 5 crore will be given as an incentive, right? So 30 basically for any unit, right, 30% of the investment on plant and machinery will be borne by the under this scheme, and the maximum limit must be of 5 crore, right? So this is also the limit. Say for example the 30% become 10 crore, right? So in that case 10 crore will not be given, maximum 5 crore will only be given, right? Also guys, there's a facility of reimbursement of 100% of insurance premium on insurance of building, plant and machinery for the first 5 years, right? From the date of commencement of commercial production by the unit. So this was all about it. Next is about integrated scheme for development of silk industry. Now the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has given approval for central sector scheme, that is the integrated scheme for development of silk industry for the next 3 years also, right? That has been extended from 2017 to the year 2020. Now what is the benefit and who are implementing this scheme? So scheme is going to be implemented by Central Silk Board, and it mainly aims to achieve self-sufficiency in silk production by the year 2022. The core objective of the scheme is to improve the productivity and quality of silk through R&D intervention, right? Now the R&D intervention is also make sure so that crossbreed silk will be produced, so that actually our silk producers can capture the market, not only our local market but also the market of the whole world, right? And also through the scheme, it is kind of an instrument for the tool for the women empowerment and livelihood opportunities to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and other weakened sections of the society, right? So this is all about this news. Next news is about Indo-US Science and Technology Forum, that is IUSSTF. Now it is celebrating its 18th foundation day, and the Indo-US Science and Technology Forum was established in the year 2000 under the agreement between the government of India and the United States of America. Now the mandate of this forum is to promote, catalyze and seed bilateral collaboration in science and technology, engineering and biomedical research through the substantive interaction among different stakeholders. Those stakeholders are government, academia as well as the industry of both the countries, right? And operational uniqueness of this forum is that it receives grant and contribution from independent sources from both the countries, that is India as well as US, but also beside that assured core funding is assured from the side of both the government, right? So it is indeed a very nice platform. Next is India Development Foundation. Now the Union Cabinet has given its approval for the closure of this India Development Foundation of overseas Indians. Why? To enhance the synergies in channelizing the diaspora's contribution to the government of India under the various flagship program. Now let's read about this India Development Foundation. It was being set up in the year 2018 under the government of India with the approval of the cabinet, and it is an autonomous non-for-profit trust, guys, which mainly facilitates the overseas Indian, so that if they at all want, then they can give philanthropic contribution or any contribution which they think might be helpful for our social and developmental projects in India, right? But in later phases of earlier when it was devised, the aim was this, right? But in later phases, what happened, that India's flagship program like National Mission of our Clean Ganga, Swachh Bharat Mission, social and development other projects of state government was also added to the mandate of this Indian Development Fund, right? So but see what happened, the reason why there is a closure of this Indian Development Foundation is, in the year 2015 the foundation only received a sum of 336.80 lakh, right? Means, see, these foundations are being taken care of, the like working of this is done with the fund that is being provided by the central government of India in overseas region, right? It was observed that what the central government is investing on these kind of promoting these kind of India Development Foundation, that amount was much higher than the amount that they actually received, right? So that's why they thought of doing away, closing this India Development Foundation, right? So that a bit of more synergies can be brought about, as well as the China diaspora's contribution which was earlier being done. So in that contribution thing, there doesn't occur any duplication of efforts, right? And efficiently the government get more money, right? So this is all about the India Development Foundation. Next news is about Yamin has left emergency in the Maldives. So guys, if for those who are joining me for the very first session, so for them let's discuss a bit of background news. See, first of all, Maldives is a region which is situated here, right? Before few days, the president of Maldives, that is Mr. Yamin, has announced for a statewide emergency for 15 days, right? Why this emergency is given? Because the Supreme Court of Maldives has asked the Maldives government to release the political prisoners, right? And also to release the one who has been debarred from the government of the present president, right? Now, the Mr. Yamin was very much he was very much fearful, just because of the reason that he thought that if he will release these people who have been debarred from his political party, then the overall opposition strength will increase, right? And they will remove me from our government, right? So what Mr. Yamin decided, he decided a 15 days emergency, and he has also arrested few of the Supreme Court judges in Maldives, right? So this was the overall situation that has occurred in Maldives. Now, the opposition of Maldives government were asking different other big governments to help them, right? because it is a kind of unconstitutional crisis, right? I mean, constitutional crisis in Maldives. So they have requested, and the major request has also been done to India, but India didn't, participated directly, just because of the reason that there are often allegations against India that we are playing the role of big brother, right? Which in which we dominate ourselves in different small other small countries. So that we didn't wanted to do. That's why we have requested Maldives government that please do away with your 15 days, emergency period, and release all the political prisoners, and do what Supreme Court has suggested you. But they have not abided by the our Indian government's directive. Even they have not participated in an exercise that has been carried out by India in Andaman and Nicobar Island, right? So this was a clear indication that our relations are going further and further, right? I mean, far and far. Also, there was a other incident that before few days, Maldives has signed a free trade agreement with China, right? Which India didn't like it, right? So that is a kind of indication where Maldives is showing its inclination towards China, as well as since Maldives has not abided by the directive what Indian government has given the Maldives government. That's why it is quite sure that the rift between both the countries have increased in the recent days, right? So anyways, this is all about the news. I thought of giving it to you. And yeah, guys, one more thing regarding the Facebook page. Guys, this is the Facebook page. Actually, see, the benefit here is I'm just comparing two things, that is YouTube, right, and Facebook page. Now what the thing happen is the notifications of YouTube is not, I'm not getting the notifications of it, right? But the Facebook, each and every notification is being I'm receiving every notification, right? So if you at all want directly to interact with me, then you can follow this Facebook page. This is a very important page, just because of the reason that I also upload high quality material, not only from my whatever the courses I am making in YouTube or different other platforms, but also the courses from Study IQ, which is considered as one of the best study education site. Then Unacademy's many best teachers are there. So I'm planning that I will be sharing the best quality over in this Facebook page, and ultimately it will be beneficial for you people only, because there are many people like you people who are joining with me in the recent past, or who have joined this UPSC preparations in the past 1 to 3 months, right? So they need directions. I'm assuring you that I will be showing you the directions from this page, right? So each and every video that I'm sharing, just do go through that, because trust me, all the videos will be having the quality content within themselves, right? So it is being very much assured to you people, right? So yeah, this was all about it, guys. We will meet in next class. Till then, bye bye, take care, and thank you for listening to me, guys. Thank you very much.